Welcome to Dopamine Clinic, the place where you'll unlock the secrets of your mind and transform your life. It's late at night, the world is quiet. For most people, the day is winding down, but for you, it's just the beginning. Your mind is racing, but it's not with thoughts about your future or what tomorrow holds. It's with an overwhelming, almost uncontrollable urge. You know it's unhealthy, but in that moment, it feels like the only way to escape your reality. You grab your phone, pull up the screen, and dive into a world that's as addictive as it is damaging. You tell yourself, just one more time, I'll stop tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. Pornography has become your escape, your way of numbing the stress, the boredom, or the emotional void that you feel deep inside. It's a habit you can't shake. No matter how much you want to stop, you keep coming back to it, over and over again. The shame, the guilt, and the realization that it's controlling your life all hit you in waves, but somehow, it never feels like enough to truly break free. This is the reality for millions of men, and it's not something that's often talked about. The shame around PN addiction runs deep, especially when it comes to masculinity. Society tells men they need to be tough, emotionally invincible, and in control. Admitting that you're struggling with something like PN addiction feels like a betrayal to that image, but the truth is, PN addiction is a silent killer of masculinity and, if left unchecked, it can destroy everything you've worked for, from your self-esteem to your relationships, and most importantly, your sense of self-worth. In this video, we're going to break down the dark truth behind PN addiction, understand how it impacts your life, and begin the journey of reclaiming your masculinity. It's time to break free from the chains and find your true strength. The hidden epidemic. How PN became the silent epidemic of modern masculinity. Pornography addiction isn't just a personal issue, it's a societal epidemic. It affects millions of men, young and old, and it's silently destroying their ability to engage with the world in a meaningful way. In an era where everything is instantly accessible, pornography is just a click away, always within reach. The internet has made it easier than ever to find, watch, and consume, and with that, the addiction has spread like wildfire. But what most people don't understand is that pornography isn't just about casual consumption, it's addictive. Just like any other addiction, it rewires your brain. Your brain gets a constant dopamine hit every time you engage, making it harder and harder to stop. Let's look at Jake, a 25-year-old man who has been battling with PN addiction for years. On the surface, Jake seems like the typical guy. He has friends, a job, and even a girlfriend, but underneath, he's struggling. Every night, after a long day of work, he retreats to his apartment and turns to PN. It's the one thing that helps him feel relief, even if it's only temporary. Jake tells himself that it's not a big deal. It's just something everyone does, he thinks. But deep down, he knows it's taking control of his life. It's hurting his self-esteem. It's damaging his relationship with his girlfriend. And it's making him feel disconnected from his own masculinity. The truth is that pornography addiction doesn't just stay in the realm of sexual pleasure. It starts to affect your emotions, your relationships, your work, and even your self-image. It creates a distorted view of intimacy, masculinity, and self-worth, leaving you feeling empty, anxious, and ashamed. The psychological impact. How PN addiction destroys your mental health. At first, PN addiction may seem harmless. It's just a way to release tension, right? But the longer you engage with it, the more it takes a toll on your mental health. The psychological effects of PN addiction are profound, and they go far beyond the immediate physical pleasure. Desensitization. Over time, your brain becomes desensitized to the stimulus. The more you watch PN, the more you need to consume to get the same level of satisfaction. What once excited you no longer does. You find yourself craving more extreme content, and before you know it, the cycle continues. Loss of interest in real intimacy. PN rewires your perception of intimacy. You begin to believe that hijacks and relationships should always be like what you see in PN: instant gratification, excitement, and fantasy. This creates unrealistic expectations that make it difficult to connect with real people. You're no longer motivated to work on deep, meaningful relationships. Why bother when the instant gratification of PN is so much easier? Guilt and shame. This is perhaps one of the most destructive aspects of PN addiction. The more you indulge, the more guilt and shame you carry. You start to feel like you're not good enough, that your masculinity is somehow flawed or weak. These emotions eat away at your self-esteem, leaving you feeling isolated and ashamed. Instead of confronting your addiction, you hide it, leading to a spiral of self-loathing. Masculinity and PN. The conflict between your true self and the addiction. As men, we've been taught that masculinity is about strength, control, and resilience. We're told that we must be emotionally tough, never vulnerable, and always in control. This societal expectation creates a silent conflict for men struggling with PN addiction. PN addiction can make you feel like you're failing in these very areas. It's easy to believe that real men don't have these issues, that admitting to addiction or weakness makes you less of a man. This belief is reinforced by the shame that surrounds the topic. However, this perception is not only toxic, but it's also false. The truth is, true masculinity is about owning your vulnerabilities and seeking growth. Strength is found in self-awareness, in admitting when something is wrong, and in taking steps to fix it. When you can confront your addiction and take steps to break free, you are showing the highest form of strength, the ability to change, grow, and take control of your life. The destruction of relationships, PN's effect on intimacy and connection. One of the most damaging consequences of PN addiction is how it impacts real relationships, especially intimate ones. For David, a 28-year-old who's been with his girlfriend for 3 years, the addiction has taken its toll on his relationship. David spends hours each week watching PN, and it's starting to affect his ability to connect with his girlfriend. She feels rejected, unimportant, and confused by his lack of interest in physical intimacy. What should be a moment of closeness and connection has turned into something awkward and distant. David tries to hide it, but deep down, he knows the addiction is affecting their relationship. It's no longer just about the PN. It's about the emotional detachment, the shame, and the inability to truly connect. Breaking the cycle. How to start reclaiming your masculinity. Breaking free from PN addiction is no easy task. It requires commitment, courage, and a willingness to face your vulnerabilities head-on. But the good news is that you can take steps to reclaim your masculinity and start a path toward healing. Acknowledge the problem. The first step in overcoming PN addiction is acknowledging that it's an issue. Denial is one of the most dangerous aspects of addiction. Admitting to yourself that this is something you need to change is the most important first step. Seek professional help. PN addiction is a real issue, and it's okay to seek help. Whether it's therapy, counseling, or even a support group, seeking professional guidance is essential for breaking free. A therapist who specializes in addiction or well health can help you address the psychological and emotional aspects of your addiction. Build a strong support system. It's crucial to surround yourself with people who understand and support your recovery. Friends, family, or a support group can help you stay accountable and remind you that you're not alone in this journey. Isolation only fuels the addiction, so having someone to talk to is key. Develop healthy coping mechanisms. PN addiction often stems from an emotional need, stress, loneliness, or boredom. By finding healthier ways to cope, such as exercise, hobbies, or creative outlets, you can replace the habit with something positive. Set clear boundaries. Remove triggers that lead to PN consumption. This might mean using website blockers, limiting your screen time, or creating new habits that don't involve screen time. Setting boundaries helps you regain control over your impulses and keeps you on the path to recovery. Understand the impact on your brain. The reality is that PN addiction rewires your brain. Just like any other addiction, it takes time to heal. Understanding that recovery is a gradual process and not a quick fix will help you stay patient and persistent. Step 1. Accepting responsibility, the power of ownership. The road to recovery begins with accepting full responsibility for your actions. This isn't about self-blame. It's about acknowledging the control you have over your life moving forward. Acknowledge the impact that PN addiction has had on your mental health, relationships, and self-esteem. This step can be incredibly powerful because it marks a shift from being a passive participant in your addiction to becoming an active participant in your recovery. When you take ownership of the problem, you take back the power that addiction had over you. You stop being a victim and start becoming the hero of your own story. Acknowledge the damage, recognize how your addiction has impacted your relationships, your mental health, and your life in general. This might be hard to face, but it's essential for growth. Stop the cycle of denial. The first step to recovery is admitting you have a problem. Don't minimize the issue. PN addiction is just as real and damaging as other forms of addiction, and it requires the same dedication to overcoming it. Step 2. Seeking help. You don't have to do this alone. The next critical step in breaking free from PN addiction is recognizing that you don't have to do it alone. This is not a battle and win by simply wishing it away or trying to white-knuckle your way through it. Seeking professional help is key. Whether it's through therapy, counseling, or support groups, professional help provides the tools and strategies necessary to break free from addiction. A therapist who specializes in at-risk, health and addiction can guide you through the emotional and psychological struggles that come with PN addiction. They'll also help you develop healthier coping strategies and work through the deep-rooted issues that contribute to the addiction. Support groups are another powerful resource. In a support group, you'll find people who are going through the same struggle, people who understand the shame and frustration that comes with this addiction. It helps you realize that you're not alone and that there is strength in vulnerability. In fact, seeking help is one of the most masculine things you can do. It takes courage to admit that you need support and to reach out for it. Step 3. Rebuilding self-respect, the foundation of masculinity. PN addiction undermines your self-esteem. It makes you feel worthless, disconnected, and ashamed. But one of the most important things you can do is rebuild your self-respect. True masculinity doesn't come from an external source, it comes from within. It's about your values, integrity, and ability to act with honor. Start by forgiving yourself. This may be the hardest part of recovery, but it's essential. Shame thrives on secrecy and self-judgment. The more you berate yourself, the more you fuel the addiction. Let go of the guilt and understand that overcoming this challenge is a journey. Forgiveness. It's time to forgive yourself for the past. This doesn't mean excusing the behavior, but it means recognizing that you're human, that everyone makes mistakes, and that growth comes from learning and moving forward. Reaffirm your worth. Rebuilding self-respect is about reinforcing the belief that you are worthy of love, respect, and success regardless of your past. You can begin by creating new habits that reflect your true value, such as setting boundaries, practicing honesty, and making decisions that align with your highest values. By focusing on rebuilding self-respect, you'll start to reclaim your masculinity in its true form without relying on external validation or temporary satisfaction. Step 4. Developing new habits, replacing the addiction. PN addiction doesn't just stop because you want it to. Breaking free requires you to develop new habits that replace the addictive behavior. These new habits should be healthy, fulfilling, and aligned with your goals of personal growth and masculinity. The key is to replace the instant gratification that comes with watching PN with more meaningful, sustainable rewards. Every time you resist the urge, you're building mental strength and emotional resilience. Here's how to develop those new habits. Physical exercise. Regular physical exercise not only improves your health, but it also helps rebuild your confidence. Strength training, cardio, or even yoga can release endorphins, the body's natural feel-good chemicals, and improve your mood. Mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness exercises and meditation can help you stay grounded and manage stress. Meditation provides a healthy outlet for dealing with the emotions and urges that come up during recovery. It allows you to sit with your feelings without acting impulsively. New hobbies. Engage in activities that challenge and fulfill you. Try new hobbies or passions that excite you and offer long-term satisfaction, like learning a new skill, taking up sports, or developing a creative project. These activities can become your new source of dopamine and pride. By replacing your addiction with healthy alternatives, you'll begin to create a life that is fulfilling and free of addiction. Step 5. Setting boundaries. Protecting your masculinity. One of the biggest challenges in overcoming PN addiction is setting healthy boundaries. When you've been conditioned to seek out instant gratification, it's easy to fall back into old habits, especially when temptation strikes. Setting boundaries is one of the most important aspects of reclaiming your masculinity. It shows self-control, strength, and the ability to protect your energy and time. Without boundaries, addiction will always find a way to creep back in. Digital boundaries. Use tools to block explicit content on your devices. Set specific hours during the day when you engage in productive activities and avoid using your devices mindlessly during those times. Accountability partners. Find a trusted friend or mentor who can help you stay accountable during your recovery. Check in regularly and share your progress. Social boundaries. If your social circles encourage unhealthy habits, set boundaries with them. Surround yourself with people who respect your decision to break free from addiction and support your growth. Step 6. Strengthening relationships. Building true intimacy. The final step in reclaiming your masculinity is about rebuilding intimacy in your real-life relationships. PN addiction can distort your view of intimacy and connection. You may have become numb to the idea of emotional and physical connection, believing that real intimacy should be like what you see on a screen. But the reality is that true intimacy is built on emotional vulnerability, trust, and mutual respect. How to rebuild healthy relationships. Open communication. Be honest with your partner about your struggles. They may not understand everything about addiction, but having an open conversation will foster trust and emotional intimacy. Quality time. Spend time focusing on emotional intimacy rather than physical gratification. Engage in activities that strengthen your bond, like deep conversations, shared hobbies, or physical affection that isn't sexual. Healing together. If you're in a relationship, go through this journey together. Your partner's support and understanding will be key to your recovery. Rebuilding intimacy may take time, but the process will ultimately bring you closer than ever before. Step 7. Remember your true strength. Reclaim your masculinity. The most powerful step in breaking free from PN addiction is to remember that your true masculinity is about strength, vulnerability, and self-awareness. You don't need pornography to prove your masculinity. You don't need external validation to feel powerful. True masculinity is found in self-discipline, emotional control, and the courage to grow. The path to reclaiming your masculinity isn't an easy one, but it's worth it. By taking control of your addiction, building healthier habits, and nurturing meaningful relationships, you're taking back your life and becoming the man you were always meant to be. Conclusion: your journey begins now. PN addiction has a powerful grip on your life, but it doesn't have to define you. By taking responsibility, seeking help, rebuilding your self-respect, and creating new habits, you can break free from the chains and reclaim your masculinity. This is just the beginning. The road to recovery is long, but it's also incredibly empowering. You are stronger than you think, and you are capable of change. Your masculinity isn't defined by pain, it's defined by the courage you show, choosing to break free and live with purpose, integrity, and strength. Breaking free is reclaiming your power and purpose.